Hey guys, so I'm working on your letters. I had like 47 of you send me addresses, so I've got lots of letters to write, but I also ordered a bunch of those really cool stickers that are on my locker at school. I ordered like 500 of them, so I've got tons coming. They'll be here Friday, and I am going to pick one just for you, and I'm going to put it in your envelope. So whenever you get a really bright rainbow envelope in your mailbox, it's from me, okay? So they'll probably be at your house probably by the end of next week. I'm gonna try to send them out Monday, so they'll probably take a couple days. I'm not sure how smooth the mail is going since there's lots of people ordering things right now. So it may take a little bit longer, but you'll probably have it by the end of next week. So now I'm going to show you, just in case you want to write me back and be pen pals, how to make an envelope and how to address it properly, so that way you can write me back. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out how to address an envelope. Okay, so say you've got everything at home, you've got paper, you've got an envelope, you've got all that. This is how you're going to address it. Okay, so first thing you need is a return address, which is going to be your address. Okay, so that is going to go up here in the top corner. So I'm going to make up random addresses and names so nobody's information's getting sent out. So pretend this is mine, okay? So I'm going to put my name for example. So Miss Presley, okay? This is going to be the return address, because if this gets lost in the mail and they don't know where to send it, they'll send it back to you. They'll return it back to this address. So Miss Presley, we're going to make up a random P.O. box. So P.O. Box 5000. Okay, so pretend that is my address. That is where it needs to be returned to if it gets lost. Okay, and then you'll put your city and your state and your zip code. Okay, so I live in Monticello. Okay, and I live in Kentucky. And then my zip code is 42633. Okay, so now this is where it is going to be going. Okay, so this is where it will return. It'll return to me if it gets lost. And this is going to be your address that I'm sending it to. I'm going to send it to you. Okay, so if I'm going to send it to Sally Joe, okay, and her address is 219 Apple Juice Lane. Okay, and then she lives in Kalamazoo. Oh, apparently that's in Michigan. I Googled it. Okay, and we're going to make up a random zip code. 29463. Okay, pretend that is Sally Joe's address. So we've got her name, we've got the street and the house number that she lives on, we've got her city, we've got her state, and we've got her zip code. Okay, so that is what you need in order to address it. Then you're going to get stamps, and your stamp is going to go right there in the top corner. They're like 25 cents each. So this is what pays for your letter to get sent. Okay, if you do not have a stamp, your letter cannot be sent. Your mailman will put it back in your mailbox or send it back to your house, because it's not going to get sent without this stamp. It's very important. Okay, so then you write your letter and you seal it and you're done. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make an envelope. You can do lots of different things. So I went to Walmart for my students and I bought all these rainbow envelopes, and I'm decorating them and putting stickers on them and stuff like that. But you do not have to do that. If you are at home and you do not have anything like that, or you can't go to Walmart and buy envelopes, then you can make your own with just a piece of paper. Okay, so this is just a scrap piece of paper. It was a messed up print, so I'm going to use it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to get your paper into a complete perfect square. Okay, that's the most important, because it's not going to fold right if it is not a square. So this is kind of like origami. So there's two different ways you can do it. You can either measure with a ruler to get a perfect square, or you can fold it. Folding it is the easiest, but it also leaves a crease. So if you're not going to like creases in your envelope, you can see with this one that I made, there is a little bit of a crease right there, okay? So I'm going to show you both ways, folding it and measuring it. So we're going to have to do a little bit of math. We're going to do a measuring way first. Okay, so my paper is 11 inches long, and it is 8.5 inches wide. So we have to get a perfect square. Obviously, we cannot make this bigger. We can't make it 11 inches long. So we're going to have to make this side 8.5, okay? So I'm going to measure to 8.5, and it's smart to always measure a couple places, so that way whenever you cut it, you can get a straight line. If you just measure it in one place, sometimes it makes it a little bit wonky. Okay, so now I'm going to take my ruler, and I've got my 3 dots. I measured at 8.5 from here to here, from here to here, from here to there. Now I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to draw a straight line, and this is the line that I'm going to cut on. So I'm going to cut this off. This is going to be excess. Okay, so we don't need this anymore, and now we have a perfect square, okay? So here is how you would fold it to get the crease for your square, okay? So I have this really long rectangular piece. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this corner, and I'm gonna fold it until it is even with the edge. See how that has a straight line, okay? This is the line I'm going to cut. So I'm going to cut along this. Okay, and when you open it up, it is a perfect square. So once we have a perfect square, it's super easy to make an envelope. You are going to turn it like this, okay? I'm going to flip mine over because this, I want it to be on the inside so you can't see it, and I want the outside to be plain white. So I'm going to flip it over. It doesn't matter if yours is a plain piece of paper. It doesn't matter which side you're on. You are going to fold one corner up to about halfway, and you're going to fold the other corner down, and they're going to meet in the middle, okay? It's already starting to look like an envelope. Open these up. I'm going to fold it in, and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to fold this corner in, okay? Once you get this step, all you do is fold this up, and you have an envelope. So you can take tape or stick glue. You can tape those down. And now I have an envelope. So you have a square envelope, okay? You can do it a couple different ways. You could make it rectangular if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be a perfect square, but this is the easiest way that I found to make an envelope. So now you've got a plain white envelope. You can decorate it if you want. You could also, I have this scrapbook paper that I'm making cards out of for my kids. I found some scrapbook paper at Walmart that looks like a bunch of different types of paint. So I thought that would be really fun for art class. So I'm using that for cards. You can use other scrapbook paper for your envelopes, but it's really important that you make sure that you use scrapbook paper that you can read the writing on. So like this one would not be good for an envelope unless you put a piece of paper over top of it to write your address on, because this is going to be too busy and the mailman's not going to be able to read what you wrote. So I would stay away from really busy and chaotic scrapbook paper. But if you wanted to find something that was a little bit less chaotic, or even just a color, like if you got a light color, a yellow, you could do that. So the thing I like about white paper is that you get to decorate it yourself. So again, you don't want to make it too busy that the mailman cannot read what you've written on it, but you can still decorate it. So I've got some markers. You could do some polka dots. Okay, So I picked 3 colors that were really light. My pen is still going to show up on top of them, and it's not going to make it too busy for the mailman to read. So now I'm going to address it the same way. So Miss Presley, P.O. Box 5000, because it's going to leave from my house and come to you. And then I live in Monticello, Kentucky. 42633. Okay, so my students live in Albany, so I'm going to do an Albany zip code, city, and state, so that way you guys can figure it out. So we'll still do Sally Joe. At this point, if you know what you're doing, you can make it a lot more creative. So I always do like block letters or do a banner and make it really cool. So to do a banner, you could do like a wavy line, a parallel wavy line, connect them, triangle, banner. It is super easy. Everybody thinks it's super difficult, but it is so easy. Okay, and then you could put your name in there. So you could put Sally Joe in there. Okay, so I have Sally Joe. You could do block letters. So I'm going to do block letters and some cursive and a banner for the address, okay? So be creative, but make sure you make it legible and easy to read for the mailman. Okay, so Sally Joe. Okay, I got Sally. And then I got Joe, and then I'm going to put her address in a banner, okay? So I'm still going to do Apple Juice Lane, but I'm going to do it in Albany, Kentucky, 42602, so that way you guys can see how yours is supposed to be written, okay? So you'd write your street address first. So I'm going to do a banner. And then she lives at 219 Apple Juice Lane. Okay. And Albany, Kentucky. 42602. Okay? So that is how you would address your pen pal that you're writing to. So here's my address. This is the return address. If it gets lost, it's going to get sent back to me. And this would be who I'm sending it to. I'm sending it to Sally Joe at 219 Apple Juice Lane, Albany, Kentucky, 42602. Okay? So that's how you address it. Then you'd write her a little letter. You could take a little piece of paper. I just cut strips of scrapbook paper on my colorful designs that I got. And then inside of them, I'm writing the little letters, and I'm putting my sticker in it that I'm going to send you. And then I will put it inside of the envelope. Okay? And then also, I have little notes that say, do you want to be pen pals? Write me back with my little Bitmoji. You could draw your own if you do not have any way of printing stickers. So I printed these little stickers. I'm putting it on the back of all my envelopes. So whenever you know you're getting a letter from me if you get a super bright envelope with a sticker with my Bitmoji. So I would put that on the back. I'd put my letter inside. I would seal it up. You could decorate it. On the back, it's not as important for the mailman to see. So you could draw a picture. If you wanted to decorate it more, you could draw more, add more detail. But just make sure the front is easy to read and use light colors so the mailman can see what's going on. Okay? I cannot wait to get all your letters.